Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Biology Basics. In this video, we are going to talk about fertilization, right? So let's begin. When we talk about the fertilization, what do you mean by fertilization? So fertilization is the process in which there is a fusion. There is a fusion of male gamete and that too with the female gamete. So the male and the female gamete, they fuse together and it form what? The zygote. And then zygote, it develop into what? Embryo. And then the seed in the case of the plants. Okay, so let's see. So fertilization is the fusion of the male and the female gametes, and this process is completed in the 4 steps. The first step is the germination of the pollen grain and the pollen tube. What this simply means, you have your pollen grain, right? So majority of the angiosperm, they release the pollen grain at the 2-cell stage. So this pollen grain which is being released, it land on the stigma. So this is the stigma, and yeah, this is the stigma. It is going to land on the stigma. Now the generative cell, it will do what? Some kind of a division, the mitosis division. It will form what? 2 male gamete, right? And then the pollen tube will germinate. Okay, that we'll see about it in much more detail. Then you have the entry of the pollen tube into. So you have the pollen tube is formed, then pollen tube will what? Enter into the ovule, right? And then you have the entry of the pollen tube into the embryo sac, and then there is a fusion of the gametes. All right, so we are going to see each and every step in much more detail. So let's go further. A, that is the germination of the pollen tube. In this image, you can see this is your pollen grain, and this pollen grain consists of the vegetative cell as well as the generative cell, and this outer is your sporal pollen where the germ pore is absent. So as you can see, this germ pore where the sporal pollen is absent. When this pollen grain it land on the stigma, so this whole surface is your stigma, right? So when the pollen grains it land on the stigma, what happens? The calcium, the boron, which is extremely important for the need perspective, the boron, water, etc., what are being absorbed by the pollen grain, and then entire layer of the pollen grain protrude outward through the germ pore. So if I just draw the same image here, so if this is the pollen grain, and here suppose these are the sporopollen. So what happened? The entire layer it will come out. It will come out, and that will be forming your pollen tube. So this entire layer will come out through the germ pore. This is the important point. So entire layer it will come out through the germ pore. All right, and you must be knowing that the sporopollen is the hardest substance, biological material, right? It can't be degraded by anything. Whereas the entire layer is the inner part of the pollen grain and is made up of the cellulose or the bacteria. Okay, so after you have the this pollen tube, and this pollen tube grows toward the ovule, and such kind of a growth is known as what? Chemotrophic growth, where some kind of these pollen tube is being attracted toward the ovule, and ultimately it will go toward the embryo sac. Okay, so when there is a more than one germ pore, multiple pollen tube is formed, as you can see in the Malvaceae family or the Cucurbitaceae family. Fine. Okay. Then the second point, that is the entry of the pollen tube into embryo sac. So entry of the pollen tube into the embryo sac can be done by 3 ways. The first is your chalazal end, through the chalazal end. So here, if this is your micropylar end, this is the image of the ovule, and this is your chalazal. This is the chalazal end. All right. Okay. So through the next is through the integuments. So these are the integuments. These are the integuments of the outer integument. These are the inner integuments, and then you have the micropyle. So either this way. So either this way, or through this way. So 3 possibilities are there. Okay. So pollen tube enters through the chalazal end. This is known as what? Chalazogamy. And if the pollen tube enters through the integuments, so this is known as what? Mesogamy. And if the pollen tube enters through the micropyle, this is known as what? Porogamy. So in majority of the angiosperm, the porogamy is seen. Okay, that is through the micropylar end. And this is the micropylar end. So majority case, the pollen tube enters in this way. This image simply explaining the how the pollen tube is going through the micropyle end. So suppose if this is the pollen tube and it is going through the micropyle end, and what happens with the, I told you, see, when the pollen grains, it land on the stigma, right? So then after the generative cell, it go for the mitosis and it form what? Two male gametes. So you put the two male gametes, then you have the vegetative cell. Vegetative cell is what? Ahead of these two male gametes or these two generative cell. Why? Because these vegetative cell is going to provide the nourishment to those generative cell or the male gamete. Okay, so when pollen tube reaches to the embryo sac, what happens? Vegetative cells and one synergid. So suppose either this one. Okay, let me change the color. So either this one, it should be okay. So either this one or this one. So these two are the synergid cell. So when the pollen tube reaches to the embryo sac, vegetative cell or one of the synergid cell burst out. And so suppose here, if we are, suppose one cell is what is being burst out, then what is going to happen? So you have the vegetative cell is also not there now, so you are left with the two male gamete. So this two male gamete is being guided by the the entry of these two male gamete is guided by the filiform apparatus, so it will enter. Now two male gametes are here, now the fusion of these is going to take place. So one is going to fuse with the egg, and then these two polar nuclei, which is what? Haploid. These two are the haploid structure. And then this is they either in some book they simply says that these two polar nuclei will fuse first, and then your male gamete is going to fuse with this fused polar nuclei. But in your textbook, it simply says that the second male gamete is going to fuse with the polar nuclei, right? So one male gamete, it fuses with the polar nuclei, and the another male gamete is fused with the egg cell, and that is what your syngamy is. Syngamy. Okay, please don't forget this term, syngamy. Fusion of the male gamete and the female female gamete, that is the egg cell, and that is what your syngamy is. This process is known as what? Double fertilization. Why? Because see, where one male gamete is getting fused with the egg cell, and then the one male gamete is fused with the polar nuclei. So that's why two fertilization is taking place. So secondary nucleus, I told you now. See, I told you here that either this two polar nuclei, either they fuse together. In some book says that these two polar nuclei, they fuse together and form what? Secondary nucleus. So that's what the two is. So either this secondary nucleus or the polynucleus, it fused with the male gamete, and this gives you the primary endosperm nucleus. This gives you the primary endosperm nucleus, which is a triploid structure. Because see, this is the haploid, this is the haploid, and your male gamete is also haploid. So haploid. So 3N, it is going to form what? Triploid structure. So this is known as triple fission. Please remember this, extremely important. Triple fission. So triple fission is what? When your two polar nuclei and one male gamete, they fuse together. This is known as triple fission. And what is syngamy? When your one male gamete is fused with the egg cell. That's what your syngamy is. Okay. So male gamete, that is the haploid again, and then female gamete, which is haploid again. And if they are fusing, this is known as what? Syngamy. And what? Zygote. It leads to the formation of the zygote, right? So triple fission and the syngamy, it is collectively known as what? Double fertilization, and this is what discovered by the Navaschi and Wilnat. Okay. Now there is some additional point related to it, that the triple fusion and the double fertilization is exclusively found in the angiosperm. So exclusive angiosperms are, if we go with the evolution, so initially you have the algae, bryophyte, radiophyte, angiosperms, gymnosperm, then angiosperm. So in the evolutionary perspective, angiosperm is the more advanced one. So that's why. So triple fusion is only seen in the case of the angiosperm. So now what is happening after these triple fusion and the syngamy? What is going to happen? The antipodal cells, the actual function of these antipodal cells is not very much clear, but yeah, some book says that these antipodal cells are there just to provide the nourishment to those eggs and the gametes. Okay. Now, so these after the fusion, these antipodal cells are going to degenerate, and as this one synergid was left, so it is going to degenerate, and then you have the zygote, and then you have the primary endosperm cell. So this primary endosperm cell is going to develop first. is going to develop. So first the endosperm is going to develop, and then after that, I mean, endosperm is quite mature, and then your zygote is going to divide. So in front of you, this is the image of, okay, let me just show you where this image is actually. So this, yeah, this is the ovary, and inside this ovary you have the ovule. So this is the ovule, right? And here, yeah, this one. So here you have the antipodal cells. These cells, okay, let me change the color so that it will be easy for you to understand. So suppose these antipodals, these are the antipodal cells, which is what degenerating. Then you have the primary endosperm cells, and then you have the zygote here, zygote. Okay, I hope you can simply, and this whole structure is basically going to be embryo sac, and you know that the embryo sac is the female. I need to fight female. Then you to fine.